Quick shout out to my patrons. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible, so thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey y'all, it's Kay from the Apothecary, and welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. So now this reading vlog is for the week of July 23rd to the 30th. Starting off our weekly reading vlog, I've got one quick announcement. On July 30th, so the day that you see this video out, we'll be having a live show with She Was Only Evie and Miss Richards Reads, talking about A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan. I can't wait for this live show. It's going to be at 2 p.m. Saturday, July 30th on my channel here. I'll put the link down in the description below. Come join us. We'll have a spoiler-free section at the start, and then we'll go into spoilers, and it's going to be so much fun because we all absolutely loved this book. Now, I've got a bit of an update for you all at the start of this vlog. I don't often have these, but I got some good reading in this morning, so I've got 3 books to update you all on. The first is an update that I forgot to give last week. I think it got cut out of a video that didn't make the transfer to my computer for some reason, and that is Blue Haven by Lisa King. I finished this book last week. I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. This is a science fiction thriller with a little bit of horror in there, a little twist of horror. This was absolutely fantastic. As soon as I finished it, I went and recommended it to a whole bunch of people. It was so good. I will have a dedicated review for this book coming out on Wednesday, July 27th. I read this as part of a book tour held by Eric at Break Even Books, and I can't wait to talk to y'all about this because it was so good. I need everyone to go read this book so I can talk spoilers with them. And then the other 2 updates I have are books that I actually finished today, earlier today. So the first one is The Good Neighbor, the life and work of Fred Rogers. This was written by Maxwell King, but the audiobook was narrated by LeVar Burton. I also gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I didn't grow up on Mr. Rogers like a lot of people did. I instead grew up on reading Rainbow, which was, of course, hosted by LeVar Burton. So it was the perfect matching of most people's childhoods with my childhood, with LeVar Burton narrating the audiobook. And if y'all haven't listened to him narrate audiobooks or his podcast where he reads short stories, you need to. He is such a fantastic narrator, and he did such a great job with this book, and Maxwell King wrote this book so well. One of the things that I look for when I'm reading biographies, especially of famous people like this, is, are they showing the good and the bad? Are they showing all sides of this character, or is this more just a special tribute to this person? I thought that Maxwell King did a fantastic job at showing all sides of Fred Rogers and not just the good sides that we see on TV or that we saw on TV. He took such a deep dive into Fred Rogers and everything that made Mr. Rogers and his childhood, his upbringing, his adult and his, what he went through on TV and off TV and his family. His death, and even after his death, a lot of times a biography of someone that has passed just ends at their passing. But we had like 2, maybe 3 chapters after his death, which I really appreciated because it showed the true impact of Mr. Rogers on people. So 5 out of 5 stars for The Good Neighbor. And then the last book that I finished this morning is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. This was a thriller that I read for Leslie at the Nerdy Narratives Wine and Crime Book Club. This was our pick for July, and y'all, this book was really good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because I thought at times the pacing was off and it was hard to follow. But y'all, this book was very well done. I usually don't like an unreliable narrator, But in this case, it worked really well because it wasn't necessarily second guessing people on who did it, but it was following our main character around as she's trying to figure out these mysteries. And so when she comes to a natural conclusion, it makes sense to us, the readers. At least it did for me. And that I could really appreciate. But like, that is the best way to use an unreliable narrator, especially in a thriller. So this weekend, I will be reading Disney After Dark, which is the first book in the Kingdom Keeper series. This is the last book I have to read in this series. I'm a couple chapters in now, and I can't wait to see how this series actually starts off. So far, I think I'm through like 10 chapters now. So far feels very, very different than the rest of the books, but we'll see how that goes. I'll also be continuing on with the High King's Tomb, which is book 3 in the Green Rider series. And this was my patron pick of the month, picked by Josephine at Fine Reads. Tonight I will be starting the audiobook of Emma by Jane Austen. This is a reread, and I'm reading this with the group that also read A Bad Business by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Evie at She Was Only Evie, Christy at Christy Lewis Dostoevsky in Space, Stephanie at Miss Richards Reads, and Tiffany at Beautiful Minute. We're all reading this together again, and I think maybe we're going to have a live show once everyone's had a chance to read it. And I think at some point discussion will be held on the Literary Discourse Discord. And then I will also be starting Lancelot by Giles Christian. So one of the things that I've been trying to figure out lately is how to incorporate John more into my hobbies. As you all know, because you guys are fellow readers, reading is a solitary activity. We have buddy reads where we're reading the same book, but we're reading the book alone. We're not reading it to other people. So I was trying to figure out how to include him more in my reading. And then I was like, well, I have all of these books left on my TBRs that I didn't get to in previous months. And I got to figure out what order I'm going to read them in, what I'm going to read next once I'm done with my monthly TBR. So I wrote down all of the book titles on pieces of paper, folded them up, and put them in a little bowl. And I had John pick one out. And I'll do that for the rest of July if I finish more books by the end of July. And going forward, once I finish my monthly TBR and I'm ready for additional books, I'll have him pick more books out. And if I don't get to books in a month, I'll add them to the pile. So this weekend, John picked out Lancelot by Giles Christian. So I will be starting that book tonight. That's a King Arthur retelling. I cannot wait for it. I'm very excited. I've wanted to read this book for a long time, so I can't wait. But that's it for now, and we'll check in with y'all again soon. Bye. Hey y'all, so just a really quick check-in for right now. First and foremost, I want to say hello and thank you to some of our new subscribers, and especially Javine Paniser. Thank you so much for subscribing. It really means the world to me because without you, I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And on to our reading part of the update. Earlier this week, I finished Disney After Dark, which was book 1 in the Kingdom Keeper series. I think this was my least favorite book, and it was hard to read because I had read the rest of the series before that, and there was events that kind of contradicted those things. And I will talk about this. I'm going to do a full series review, hopefully next week on this, and I'll go into a little bit of spoilers here and there. I'll do half non-spoiler, half spoilers, and I'll talk about each individual book in that video. But I just had to check in and say I finished another book. I am now going to be starting book 2 in the Dollinger children's series, which I believe is called Petals in the Wind. This is the Flowers in the Attic series, if you remember. So I will be starting that tonight, and just like I did with the first book, I will probably have a reading vlog for my patrons for this second book, So if you want to see my progress through this book, come join the Patreon. It's only $1 a month. And that's it for now. Bye. Hey y'all, last check-in for this week. So first and foremost, saying thank you and welcome to our new subscribers, and especially to King Uasama 92. Thank you for subscribing. It really means the world to me, because without you guys, I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's get on to our reading updates. So this weekend, including today, I have today, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off. I'm hoping to get a whole ton of reading done. So this weekend, I'll be reading High King's Tomb, which is book 3 in the Green Rider series, of course. I'll be reading Petals on the Wind, which is book 2 in the Dollinger Children or Flowers in the Attic series. I'll be reading Emma, which is a reread for me, and Lancelot. I am enjoying all of these reads, really, so I can't wait to just get back into reading today. I went and got a haircut, had a breakfast. It's been a lovely day. So that's it for now. Let me know. Oh, also, almost forgot. 2 quick updates. Tomorrow, by the time you see this today, Saturday, July 30th, I'll actually have 2 live shows. So at 1 p.m. Eastern time, I will be on Leslie the Nerdy Narratives channel, and we're going to be talking about The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. And then right after that, at 2 p.m. Eastern time, here on the Literary Apothecary channel, we're going to be joined by Evie from She Was Only Evie and Stephanie at Miss Richards Reads, and we're going to be talking about A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan. I can't wait for both of these live shows. I will put links down in the description below. It's going to be so much fun. Come and join us. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite reading moment this past week? What you're looking forward to reading next week? As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below. Keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.